السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعزائي المشاهدين جميعا، أبناء الطلاب، بنات الطالبات المستوى الثالث بقسمه الأدبي والعلمي، سعيد أن نلتقي بكم هذا الليلة في درس من دروس اللغة الإنجليزية. وكما وعدتكم هذا اليوم إن شاء الله سنكمل ما تبقى من مراجعة اللغوية التاسعة، ثم ندخل في المراجعة اللغوية العاشرة وهي الأخيرة، وبعدها سنفتتح مشروع خاص بمراجعة نقاط مهمة في كامل المنهاج إن شاء الله. وسأبدأ من هذا اليوم في آخر المراجعة اللغوية، ستلاحظون ذلك بإذن الله. لا تنسوا أن تتصلوا بنا عن أي استفسار في حسب الرقم اللي ترونه موضح أمامكم في أسفل الشاشة. Let's start our English lesson for today, language review 9 and 10. Don't forget to get your Biblis box and workbooks. Now you can open your Biblis box page 37, then 38, then 39. Follow me in Biblis box and your workbooks. Let's start. Language review 9 and 10. Okay. This is what's left from language review 9. Verbs, since verbs plus object, then verb. Okay? And then we are going to discuss language review 10. Since verbs. This is from language review 9 now. The second topic or the second point of language review 9. Since verbs plus object plus verb. What since verbs? That the verbs of since. Hear and look, okay, that's to see or watch, taste, feel, touch. All these are since verbs, okay? What's the structure? These since verbs are followed by the ing form, that's to emphasize the action as continuous, and is often used for setting the scene. إبراز المشهد. Okay? Why we use continuous after since verbs sometimes? That is to set the scene. And this is what we have discussed in language review 3, if you still remember. Okay? To set the scene. Or can be followed by infinitive. That's to emphasize completion. That is, the scene is completed. Okay? Or the action is completed. Let's have an example. Look at this. Look at the picture. I saw, or I heard, or I watched the goats coming down the street. Okay? The goats coming, not come here. Why? Because the goats starting going down to the street. Okay? And try to stop them coming into the garden. Okay, I trying to stop them coming to the garden. Here is the action is continuous. The goat is starting going down into the street. What about this? Here is a completion. All the goats now are in the street, from the oldest one to the youngest one. Okay? They completed going down the street. So I can say here, I saw, or I heard, or watched the goats come down the street. Why come, not coming? Because the action completed. Okay? The movement of the goats now is completed. All of them are in the street. You see? And after that, or later, or then, I told the farmer about what I saw. Okay? So here means the first action, then the second action, action consequence. Okay, the first action, the goods are completed, are all now in the street. After that, what happened? I told the farmer about what I saw. Now let's have exercises. Open your workbooks, page 61, and try to answer this exercise about B. Exercise B. Write the verbs in practice in the correct form. What we mean by correct form here? That means, is it continuous verb with ing or infinitive? Do you understand out of this statement that it should be continuous, that to continue the scene, to set the scene, or to complete the action? Let's start with the first one. When Ali saw the teacher, then space, along the corridor, he ran back into the classroom. When Ali saw the teacher here, coming along the corridor, he ran back into the classroom. What do you think the action here, the teacher, still continues walking in the corridor or completed? Just Ali look at the teacher, then come back to his classroom. What about the teacher now? Sure, it is coming or continuous. Okay. What about number 2? In the morning, after the prayer, I always watch the sun, space, above the mountains, and then have a breakfast. Rise. Is it rise or rising? Look, read from the beginning to the end. This action must be still continuous or completed. In the morning after the prayer, I always watch the sun rise or rising above the mountain and then have a breakfast. So 2 actions. The first one completed and the second one have a breakfast. So it must be what? Completed. Rise. Okay. Why? Because and then have a breakfast. That means a first action and the second action. Next. Number 3. One day last year, I saw a plane, space, into the ground, crash or crashing, and even from a distance of 10 kilometers, I could hear the petrol, space, explode or exploding, continuous or completed. What do you think? One day last year, something happened in the past, and this is one day. I don't know what at the first or which day, second day, one day, and last year. Here means something completed. So what about crash? Should be crash, infinitive. Okay, I saw, since verb, then crash. Here is to emphasize that the action completed. لماذا؟ لأن الحدث كان في يوم ما من عام مضى. Okay, زمان. بالتالي تم. So what about explode? It will be explode. The same, completed. لأن كل الأحداث هي قصة حصلت في يوم ما من عام مضى. What about number 4? Eyewitnesses felt the ground beneath their feet. Beneath, that means under their feet. Shake. You know shake or shaking. What do you think? Shake or shaking? Complete or continuous? Don't forget, this is number 4 is a complement of the story and what happened in number 3. Okay, so it will be shake. Why? Because it's related to one day last year. Okay, and so blocks of flats, space like backs of cards, collapse or collapsing, serial of events in the past. All of them are completed, so it will be collapse. Okay, look at number 5 now. In the terrible famine in Africa, you could see people, space, die of hunger in the streets and hear people cry in pain. Now, die or dying, cry or crying. Think carefully. In Africa, famine in Africa, it is, yes, it's still continuous up to now. Up to now, there is a famine in Africa. Up to now, the people in Africa are still crying and dying of hunger. So it will be dying. What about cry? Crying. Okay. Why? Because it's still continuous up to now. Spot the mistakes. By the way, this is the most common question in the final exams. Spot the mistakes and rewrite the sentences correctly. spot the mistakes. حدد الخطأ. أين الخطأ؟ وأعد كتابة الجملة بالشكل الصحيح. Number 1. ودائما هذا السؤال يا شباب يكون به قواعد عامة، مناقشة القواعد العامة من المراجعات اللغوية السابقة، وربما حتى من قواعد سبق دراستها في ثانية ثانوي، في أولى ثانوي، فركز شوية. Okay? Ask Hassan bring the football tomorrow. Ask Hassan bring the football tomorrow. Is it right? Okay, where's the mistake? What's wrong with this sentence? Bring. Bring is wrong. It should be to bring. Ask takes to plus infinitive. Ask the boy to take his bag away. Do you remember this? Okay. Ask Hassan to bring the football tomorrow. Number 2. Look, I can see something fly in the sky. It goes upwards. What's wrong? Where's the mistake? Okay? Fly. Why fly? What should be? Flying. Continuous here. We have already completed it. Okay? Continuous. Flying, not fly. Why? Because it goes upwards, still moving, still going up. Okay. 3. I wish I had paid more attention to the English lesson. I wish I have paid more attention to the English lesson. What's wrong with this sentence? Have. Why? It should be what? Had. Why had? Because it comes after wish, and wish related to the past. Okay. The much you listen, the better you understand English. Don't forget. The much you listen, the better you understand English. Is it right to say something like this? Then where is the mistake? Much. Why? What it should be? More. It should be the more you listen, the better you understand the English. Why? Comparative adjectives. That is to present something comes as a result of something before. Do you remember this? Number 5. I hate those who drive fastly. I hate those who drive fastly. Where is the wrong? Where's the mistake? Sorry, what's wrong? Fastly. Fastly isn't adverb. It should be fast. Fast here is adverb. By the way, fast can come as an adverb, fast can come as a noun, fast can come as an adjective, okay? As a noun, for example, Ramadan, the month of fast. Ramadan شهر الصوم, fast. This is noun. He is fast. This is adjective. هو سريع. Okay? And he drives fast. How does he drive? Fast. Here is an adverb. It should be fast, no ly here. Okay? Yes, there are some adverbs in this in ly, but not fast. Okay. Have the boy to wash his hands before eating. Have the boy to wash his hands before eating. What's the mistake? What's wrong? To. Have doesn't take to. There is no to with have. It should be just wash. Have the boy wash his hands before eating. Note that number 1 and 6 can be treated in another way. يعني أن هذا بالذات السؤال قد تأتي هناك بعض الأمثلة تحل بأكثر من طريقة. Okay, in another way. For example, look at this example. Ask Hassan bring the football tomorrow. Okay, you can answer it in another way. Something, the mistake may be not in the bring here. Previously was the bring is wrong. Okay, we have to say to bring, but here you can say ask. It should be have. Okay, have Hassan bring the football tomorrow because have, okay, it doesn't take to. بما أن كذا ممكن حتى نغير ask إلى have وتبقى الأمور صحيحة على بهذا الأسلوب بهذه الطريقة. Have the boy to wash his hands before eating. Previously, to. We have to delete to. Here you have to change have itself and put ask. Ask the boy to wash. Okay, because ask takes to. This is what happened previously. Ask Hassan bring was to bring, or have the boy to wash, okay, to wash. So you can answer it in the first way or in the second way, okay, but not in both. Okay, you are not allowed to answer in both ways. Okay, just one way is sufficient enough. Next, language review 9 now completed. كانت هذه هي النقطة الأخيرة في المراجعة اللغوية التاسعة. Now let's discuss language review 10. الآن سننتقل للمراجعة اللغوية العاشرة. In language review 10 there are 3 topics and I added number 4. هو في الأصل الثلاث فقط في المراجعة اللغوية العاشرة، لكن أضفت نقطة رابعة لأن المراجعة اللغوية العاشرة بسيطة وقصيرة، فدخلنا في المراجعة العامة. Okay, general revision number 4. First part الجزء الأول making question، وهو مهم جدا how to make a question. Let's start with the number 1 here, model verbs 2. Model verbs 2. Language review 10. Model verbs 2. First of all, what's model verbs 2? Because we have discussed it in language review 9 model verbs 1. بمعنى الاستخدام الأول للأفعال المساعدة كان ذلك في المراجعة اللغوية التاسعة. الآن الاستخدام الثاني للأفعال المساعدة model verbs 2، وهذا الآن سنناقشها في المراجعة اللغوية العاشرة. What is this? Model verbs can be also used to express possibilities about something happened in the past. Okay. إذن هنا سيكون المسألة عن مناقشة أسباب حدوث شيء ما في الزمن الماضي، يعني السبب هو ما سيتم مناقشته. النتيجة أمامنا، لكن ماذا عسى أن يكون سبب هذه النتيجة؟ Here is model verbs 2 can be used. First of all, or number 1, suggesting a possible explanation. How to suggest? You can say it may or might or could plus have, not be, okay, plus have plus the past participle. May have or could have or might have. For example, look at this. You have found this bag in your table, then you will ask, who's this? إذا وجدت هذه الحقيبة على الطاولة ستقول, who's this? لمن هذه? Maybe someone answer, one of the teachers may or might or could have forgotten it. Or one of the students, I'm not sure. One of the teachers may have forgotten it, or might have forgotten it, or could have forgotten it. Deciding or explaining with must have plus past participle. هنا لما تكون متأكد. المثال الثاني إذا المسألة فيها تأكيد you are certain، زي ما سبق في المراجعة اللغوية التاسع عندما تكون متأكد must. But there is must be. Here is must have plus past participle. But note that you have to give reason. You have to say because. لما تكون متأكد اعطي سبب. Example. Teacher Hassan must have forgotten it. Here you are sure. Teacher Hassan must have forgotten it because yesterday I saw him carrying this bag here. Okay? This is for Teacher Hassan. Teacher Hassan must have forgotten it because yesterday I saw him carrying this bag here. Not accepting. What about negative here? Not accepting suggestions or decision. Also, don't forget to give reason. That means to say because. For not accepting or negative, you have say cannot or could not plus have plus past participle. Teacher Hassan cannot or could not have forgotten this bag. Why? Because I saw him carrying a bag outside the school after work. Okay? That is it. Now let's discuss something about this matter, about this topic. Do you remember this story? The mystery of Mary Celeste. The mystery of Mary Celeste, the ship. What about this ship? What's the story of this ship? Let's give you the story in brief here. The story starts here. In the morning of December 5th, 1872, Captain Morehouse, the captain of the ship of Digressia, and his crew were sailing across the Atlantic Ocean from the New York to Gibraltar. At about 9 o'clock, one of the sailors, you know sailors, Bahara, saw another ship in the horizon. 2 hours later, the two ships were much closer to each other. Captain Morehouse put his telescope in his eye and looked at the other ship. There was something strange about the way she was moving. As the wind turned, the ship turned. Some time later, he looked through his telescope again. Now he could just make out the name of the ship, Mary Celeste. But then his blood ran cold. He surprised, astonished. Why? There was nobody in the deck of the ship. Nobody climbing the masts. Nobody at the wheel. The Mary Celeste was steering herself. When the ships were about 100 meters apart, Captain Morehouse and 2 of his crew rowed across the Mary Celeste. He and 1 of the men climbed aboard. Then they found nobody. No passengers, no crew, no captain, nobody at all. Okay? They found nobody. The ship was completely deserted. As they searched, here and there, the mysterious ships, Captain Morehouse and the sailor became more puzzled about what they saw. Everything is in its correct place. They found the gold, the jewelry, the money. Nothing had been taken and no sign of panic or trouble. It seemed as the crew and the passengers had decided at the same time to throw themselves into the sea. Or the crew could have mutinied and killed the captain. However, all the ship's parts is still hanging in their correct places. So, what happened? The crew could not have left the ship that way. A strange story of the deserted ship found drifting in the open sea has never been explained up to now. What might have happened? سفينة هكذا توجد في باب الموج ولا يوجد على ظهرها جنس بشر. كل شيء في مكانه. ذهب، مجوهرات، حتى قوارب النجاة ما زالت. أين ذهب الناس؟ ماذا حدث? What might have happened? Why might not what might be? Might have, not might be. Because we are going to discuss something or an old reasons, okay, from the old past. Something happened before now. What might have happened? وتبدأ الاقتراحات. Okay, the first decision. A huge monster maybe have come up out of the sea and dragged all the people into the water. Look at the picture. Okay, may have come out. Or look at this picture. What happened? An island might have appeared suddenly out of the ocean and everybody got off the ship to walk on the new land, but then just as suddenly the island must have sunk back into the sea and everybody must have drowned and the ship left empty. Or a hurricane could have blown everybody off the ship. Look at the picture. All these are suggestions, okay? Or look at this, what happened? The passengers and the crew might have caught, the past participle of catch, okay, caught a terrible disease and decided to drown themselves, okay, as corona or what is it, and decided to drown themselves out of the ship and left the ship empty. Or what happened? Pirates may have attacked the ship and taken all the crew and the passengers. Then the pirates could have sold them as slaves. But there is no sign of panic. Let's have the exercises now. Workbooks 65, exercise A. Open your workbooks. Use modal verbs to complete these sentences. It rained last night. The roads are wet. What modal verb can be here? Let me give you help. Is it may have or must have? Can you say it may have rained last night? The roads are wet. Or must have? Which one? Must have, yes, because there is a reason why it's clear the roads are wet. Here is you are certain, you are sure. What about number 2? I passed the exam. I don't know yet. I passed the exam. What modal verb can be used here? Let me help you. Might have or must have? Might have or must have? I don't know yet. So it will be might have. 3. The crew space being eaten by a monster because there is no sign of panic. What we have discussed before, the picture. The crew may not have or can't have. Which one? Because there is no sign of panic, of trouble. So it will be can't have. The crew can't have been eaten by a monster because there is no sign of panic. Next. 4. I put enough salt in this soup. It's tasteless. Can't have or might not have. It's tasteless. Can't have. I can't have put enough salt in this soup. It's tasteless. Okay? Not taste. 5. The earthquake, zilzal, okay, space have been very strong because nearly all buildings collapsed. Okay? May have or must have because all buildings or nearly all buildings collapsed. So it will be must have. 6. Pirates space attacked the ship. It's difficult to say. help. May have or must have. It's difficult to say. May have. Okay. Now let's go for the next point, which is verb plus object plus infinitive with to. Verb plus object plus infinitive with to. This is very common sentence pattern used with many verbs. هذا طبعا أسلوب شائع وبسيط جدا. My father want me to help my mother. Okay. My mother want me to help my father. For example. Okay. Look at this. The teacher wants us to work harder. The teacher wants us to work harder. What about, where is the verb? Wants. Then object, us. To plus infinitive, to work. Okay? Next, I'd like you to come home early. The object, you. Okay, that's verb before the object. The verb, I'd like. Then object, you. Then to plus infinitive, to come. 3, my mother asked me to help her. Okay? Verb, asked. Object, me. Then to plus infinitive, to help. Okay? Exercise. Page 66B. Report what these people say using the verb in brackets. Report, أنقل. أعد الكلام. اجعله كلاما منقولا. Okay? This one. Left, look here. Left turn. The officer said to his men. Order. Use order. This is the verb between brackets. Order. So here you can say the officer. The officer ordered his men to turn left. Okay? Where's the verb? Ordered. Object, his men. To plus infinitive, to turn. Next. Learn 10 new words for a test, said our teacher. What? So start with our teacher. Then verb, then object, then to plus infinitive. Our teacher wanted, this is the verb, us, object, wanted us to plus infinitive, to learn 10 words for a test. Next. Row faster. You know row? Okay. Who's this? Captain Morehouse orders his crew. Order. So it will be Captain Morehouse orders his crew to row faster. Okay. Next. Please bring a glass of water, I said to the waiter or the server in a restaurant. Okay? Ask. I asked the waiter to bring me a glass of water. Okay? The verb, ask it, then object, the waiter, to plus infinitive, to bring. Okay? Again, don't forget to use, to contact us with the WhatsApp number shown at the bottom of the screen. ولا تنسوا أبنائي الطلاب أن تتواصلوا معنا عبر رقم الواتساب المبين أسفل الشاشة. Let's go for the next now. Reflective pronoun. Okay. Now let's go for number 3, and this is the last point in language review 10, which is about reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns. الضمائر الانعكاسية. This is also is a part of speech. هذه ناقشناها في المراجعة اللغوية السابقة قسم من أقسام الكلام. Reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns. Okay, the reflexive pronoun is used when the subject is a verb, is also the object. Okay, reflexive pronoun is used when the subject of the verb is also the object. تخيل هذا عندما يكون الفاعل هو نفسه المفعول، هو الذي يقوم بالفعل وهو الذي يقع عليه الفعل. هنا نحتاج إلى reflexive pronouns. Okay. Examples. We had a picnic. We really enjoyed ourselves. Okay. We, subject, enjoyed ourselves. Okay, that is it, ourselves. The passengers decided to drown themselves. Okay, the passengers of the Mary Celeste decided to drown whom? Themselves. She stood in front of the mirror and looked at herself. The reflexive pronoun can be used in another way. يعني ممكن تستخدم برضه الأفعال الانعكاسية، ليس بشرط أن يكون الفاعل هو المفعول، ولكن بطريقة أخرى لتأكيد عمل الفاعل. To emphasize what the subject, okay? What the subject does. For example, don't help me with my homework. I'll do it myself. هنا المفعول به homework. It refers to the homework, okay? I'll do it myself. تأكيد بأنني أنا الذي سأحل هذا الواجب بنفسي. I'll do it myself. The restaurant itself wasn't very good, but the food was delicious. The restaurant itself, or you can say the restaurant wasn't very good itself, but the food was delicious. Let's go for exercises. Workbook 66, exercise C. Use the correct reflexive pronoun. There is no need to help. We can take care of ourselves. Correct. Come in, okay? Come in and sit down. You are both most welcome. Make at home. You make at home yourselves. Why this is plural, not singular? You both, you and your father, or maybe you and your friend or brother. You both make yourselves at home. My sister hurt playing volleyball yesterday. My sister, that means she, hurt herself. You never listen to me. I may as well talk to myself. All the passengers on the ship, Mary Celeste, decided to throw into the sea, to throw themselves. Okay. 6. Ahmed, what have you been doing? Go and wash yourself. Maybe somebody asked it, why not himself? ليش ما قال himself, أحمد himself? Okay. لأن you تخاطبه. You and wash. Okay. That means go and wash you. Go and wash yourself. Here is finished language review 10. Let's go for the most important thing of general revision. First part, making questions. صياغة الأسئلة، وهذا من أسئلة اختبار الشهادة دائما. Okay, most common appears in the final exams. دائما يظهر في أسئلة اختبار الشهادة. Make questions. Also make questions, workbook unit 2.9, page 22-23. But there is no more explanation in this topic at that pages. هنا لن تجد فيه تفاصيل كيف تصيغ السؤال. Okay, but follow me. How to make question? Direct question can be formed as following. Here we want to talk about direct, not indirect questions. Indirect questions usually use it in spoken English. Okay, it's informal. But direct question is formal here. So how they form it? Verb, start with the verb, then subject, then complement, and don't forget punctuation. Question mark. Okay, because this is a question. When you start with the verb, and what kind of verb is here? Helping verb, not main verb. Okay, and there are two types of questions: yes no questions and WH question, also called information question. Yes no question because the answer is yes or no, they call yes no question. WH question, because we started with the WH word, what, when, why, where, and so on. Or maybe called also information question. Why? The answer should be a piece of information, not yes or no. Let's start with the yes-no questions. Word order, verb plus subject. Okay, then don't forget the question mark. Example, is this your book? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Yes, this is my book. Or no, it isn't. No, this is not my book. No, it isn't mine. More examples. Does he or she go to school? Main verb, kind of, look here. Sometimes it bears the main verb at the complement. So the subject is between the helping verb and the main verb sometimes. Okay. Does she go to school? Does he go to school? Answer, yes, he does, or yes, she does. Or yes, he goes to school, or she goes to school. Or no, no, he doesn't. Okay? No, she doesn't go to school. More examples. Would you like to drink something? Yes, I would. Yes, I'd like to drink a cup of coffee. I'd means would, don't forget. Or no, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like to drink anything now. What about WH questions? Word order, صيغة السؤال تبدأ أو ترتيب الكلام في WH question هو نفس ترتيب الكلام في yes no question، لكن تسبق verb WH word. So it's WH word, then verb, helping verb again. I repeat, helping verb, then subject, then question mark. What's WH word? These are the WH word. What, when, where, whom, which, whose, why, how are you, okay? Or how plus adjective, how many, how much, how far, how deep, how long, how tall, how big, how good, how hot, how good are you at playing football? Okay, here you can answer yes, no. You can give some information. Okay, it's not answer. No, it's not answer. My name is, then give your name. Okay, and there are a lot of examples. For example, what's your name? Where do you live? When do you go to school? How far is your school from your house? Or you can say, how far is it, the distance from your school to your house? How do you go to school? Who do you go with? How many brothers have you got? Or how many brothers do you have? Both are correct. What does your father do? How old is he? Don't forget that is also, we say, that is a note here, a matter of pronunciation, a matter of speaking. هذا هو اللي موجود في صفحتك الآن، هو هذا الموضوع بس. That is the yes no question with a rising intonation. Okay? WH question take a following intonation. نبرة الصوت، صياء الصوت بالنطق بالسؤال yes no يكون النغمة تصاعدية. WH النغمة هابطة تنازلي. Okay, look at this. Is this your brother? Is it rising or falling? Rising, yes, no. Okay? How old is he? Is this your brother? How old is he? Falling. Okay? هذا يخص speaking. Let's go. Note 2. We can use some and any. هناك تأتي في الأسئلة وفي الإجابات كذلك some and any. Some usually in positive statements. ثابتة. غالبا تكون في الجمل الثابتة. Example, I can see some people walking in the beach. Any usually in question and negative. Have you got any money in your pocket? Any money in your pocket? Question. No, I haven't got any money in my pocket. But I have got some in this small bag. Some, okay, for statements. Okay. This is some and any. What's 3? Don't forget much, many, few, a little also are appearing in questions and answering, making questions. هذا له علاقة أيضا بصياغة الأسئلة. Let's see. Many with countable nouns to show maximum large amount. اوكي هذه اللي تستخدم في المعدود لإظهار الكثرة. few with countable nouns too with minimum. أما few هذه نستخدمها برضه في المعدود لكن لإظهار less or small amount القلة. Examples here. Count nouns you can count such as eggs, bananas, box, chairs, so etc. How many bananas are there in the box? There are many. There is a few, maybe 2 or 3. There are some, okay? This is for countable. Now, much and little. Much with the uncountable nouns, لغير المعدود. Also to see the large quantity. للكثرة مع غير المعدود much. وللقلة مع غير المعدود a little. Okay? With uncountable nouns to show the minimum. Examples. Non-count nouns that you can't count, for example, water, oil, rice, sugar, flour, cheese, butter, and so on. How much sugar is there in the bag? There is much. There is a little. There is some uncountable and uncountable. Next, let's practice. خلونا نطبق كيف نصيغ الأسئلة. Okay, نتمرن. Make questions about the statements below. اعمل سؤال على هذا الجملة التقريرية. This is a book. Yes, no question? Is this a book? Yes or no? WH question or information question. What's this? Verb, then subject. This is a book or a book. Next. Make question about the statements below. The students are playing football now in the schoolyard. لاحظوا هذه الجملة التقريرية كامل نبغاك تصيغ منها أسئلة. Okay. So you have to look first of all the verb. دائما لما تصيغ السؤال ابحث عن الفعل المساعد. Where is the helping verb here? Are. You have to start with ابدأ به. Are the students playing football now in the schoolyard? كذا ستكون الصياغة لكن سنحدث عليها شوية تغييرات الآن. Make some changes. What's that? You have to start with the capital. That's the capital A, the small a in R must be capital. And the full stop must be changed into what? Question mark, like this. Are the students playing football now in the schoolyard? Yes or no? Okay. WH question. Can you use, you make WH question? Yes, sure. Where are the students are playing football now? بتلاحظوا صياغة WH question هي نفسها yes no مع تقديم ال WH word at the beginning وحذف المعلومة التي نسأل عنها من الجملة ولا تنسى علامة الاستفهام. In the schoolyard. Where are the students playing football now? In the schoolyards. الإجابة جاءت من نفس الجملة لأن هذه اللي سألنا عنها أصلاً. Okay. Next. When are the students playing football in the schoolyard? Now. Or what are the students doing now in the schoolyard? Playing football. عادة في صياغة الأسئلة وفي التمارين وفي الاختبار هذه الإجابات اللي تلاحظونها في آخر الأسئلة الحمراء هذه هي التي يضع تحتها خطوط وعليك أن تصيغ السؤال عنها تماما زي ما وضحنا الآن. Next. Make questions about the statements below. The students clean their classroom every Thursday. Look at the verb, helping verb. هل يوجد بالجملة فعل مساعد؟ Clean. Is it helping verb? Main verb. هذا فعل حقيقي. Can we put it at the beginning like this? And make a question? لا تصاغ الأسئلة بالأفعال الحقيقية. تصاغ بالأفعال المساعدة. إذا نعيد الفعل إلى مكانه ونبحث عن فعل حقيقي لصياغة السؤال. Let's look for a helping verb for forming a question or for building up a question. Oh, yes, the verb of do. Don't forget. Do, does, did, plus subject, plus the infinitive, then question mark. Okay? Do the students clean their class every Thursday? Yes or no? WH question. You can say, when do the students clean their classroom? When do نفس الترتيب مع إسباق الفعل بكلمة أسوال when or what or where. ثم يبقى subject, then the main verb, then the complement, question mark. When do the students clean their classroom? Every Thursday. What do the students clean every Thursday? Their classroom. Okay, next. Yes, do, does, did. Do and does for present simple. Okay, do comes with I, you, we, they, and any plural. I do, or do I, you do, or question do you, or do we, and do they, or do the people, do Ali and Ahmed, do the students, and so on. Does also present simple with the third person singular. Third person singular, what is this? I am, I the first person singular. You, maybe you are only one, you are the second person singular. The third person singular, he, she, or it, or any noun. Ahmed, Hassan, Salwa, Samira, the cat, the camel, and so on. Okay? Then let's go for did. Did is using to talk about the past. With all, singular or plural. Okay? Nouns or pronouns. Then subject, negative, and the question. Okay? Let's go. Exercises. Make a question about the underlined words or phrases below. Underlined. Ibn al-Nafis was born in Damascus in 607. We underlined in 607. So the question here is a matter of time. We have to start with what? Where or when or why or what? When. The question, when was Ibn al-Nafis born in Damascus? In 607. Next, Ibn al-Nafis was born in Damascus in 607. But we underlined here Damascus. Okay? So it's a matter of what? Place. So the question, where was Ibn al-Nafis born in 607? Next, Ibn al-Nafis was born in Damascus in 607. Here's we underline the phrase, in Damascus in 607. What's the question? Where and when Ibn al-Nafis was born? In Damascus for where? In 607 or 607 for when? More. We go to school by bus. Is it time or place? No, it's a matter here. It's a behavior. Okay, a manner, sorry. So the question will, how do you go to school? By bus. Matter comes in three different states. هذا في القسم العلمي، سؤال خاص من القسم العلمي. المادة تأتي على ثلاثة أنواع أو ثلاث حالات. Okay, we underlined three different states. You can also be three different. Here's a matter of number. The question, how many states does the matter come in? A bus driver was arrested for dangerous driving. Arrested, احتجز for dangerous driving. لا تنسوا أن for هذه تأتي معنا because he was driving recklessly for dangerous driving. So the question will be as a because here. Why was the bus driver arrested? More. Make a question about the underlying information. يعني قد يتنوع السؤال underlined words, underlined phrases, underlined words and phrases, underlined information. المعلومة التي تحتها خط وهو كلام عام. Okay? You have to understand this. Ahmed has a telescope to study the stars. To study the stars. You know stars in the sky at night. Okay. هنا غاية. So the question, why has Ahmed a telescope? Why has Ahmed a telescope? I have my breakfast at 8 o'clock. A matter of time. So, when do you have your breakfast? When do you have your breakfast? By the way, لاحظوا هنا في السؤال الأول قلنا why has أحمد a telescope؟ لأن الفعل has هو فعل مساعد ممكن نصيغ بالسؤال. لكن اعتمدنا في السؤال الثاني I have my breakfast اعتمدنا فعل حقيقي have لأنه يأتي هنا بمعنى get. Okay? I get my breakfast. فاستخدمنا فعل مساعد do. When do you have your breakfast? I'm going to visit my relatives tomorrow. My relatives. The question will be about my relatives. Okay? So, who? Who are you going to visit tomorrow? My relatives. Okay. Some say whom, but whom is informally. Okay? It's better to say who are you going to visit tomorrow? My relatives. And that we have completed. انتهينا من درس اليوم ما تم دراسته بالمراجعة اللغوية 9 ثم المراجعة اللغوية 10 ثم أخذنا مراجعة عامة how to make question اللي هو صياغة الأسئلة. See you with the second part of general revision. نراكم إن شاء الله في الجزء الثاني من المراجعة العامة وهو سنناقش أيضا فيها بعض النقاط التي تهمك في الاختبار إن شاء الله تعالى. حتى ذلكم الحين أترككم في حفظ الله ورعايته والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.